Welcome to the Val Emmons Show. Today's topics talked about from a woman's perspective. Talk to Val Emmons by calling locally 433-0092 or free long distance at 800-264-0092. Val Emmons only on KARN, News Radio 1029 FM.
And here we are. It's Saturday. This is the Val Emmons Show, and I'm Val Emmons. Today, wow, we have a lot to talk about. So if you want to, like he said, if you want to weigh in on today's topics, then give me a call, 501-433-0092. We have some breaking news for you in Kenya, the mall shooting, which has also included in the death toll Americans. It's now reported that 39 people have been killed in this mall shooting situation in Kenya. And wow, it's now a hostage standoff with, like I said, the death toll risen to at least 39 dead and 150 wounded. Kenyan President Kenyatta said in a television address this afternoon that he vowed to hunt down those behind the attack, saying that the country has overcome terrorist attacks before and will defeat them again. This is ongoing, so I'm sure that KARN will keep you posted throughout the afternoon. This is just, crazy. But, it just goes to prove that these things don't just happen against America, and the whole world needs to be concerned when it comes to Al-Qaeda and terrorists. So then we also have the NSA update for you today. Brazilian president has called off next month's trip to the United States because classified information obtained by Brazilian network Globo TV showed the NSA has been monitoring Brazilian state oil giant Petrobras. The data also revealed that the U.S. had been spying on the Brazilian president's private communications. As a result of the revelations, President Dilma Rousseff has postponed an October state visit to Washington and demanded an explanation from Washington regarding the NSA surveillance activities. So, yeah. So, pretty much, they're going to cut ties with us pretty much because we're trying to read their president's communications. Are you serious? What kind of threat is Brazil to us right now? Really, are there Brazilian terrorists out to get us? Seriously. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. We can't be trusted with spying. We're spying on Brazil to try to whatever it is we're trying to do. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And, they're protecting Dan Greenberg's, I'm sorry, not Dan Greenberg, Greenwald. We're protecting, Brazil is protecting Greenwald's partner, I guess you say, because he is Brazilian, and they are actually protecting their life because they are looking into this deeper than anybody, I think, right now, because it concerns them hugely. It's going to impact them. The U.S. National Security Agency, NSA, has been accused of intercepting emails and messages from Ms. Rousseff, her aides, and state oil company Petrobras. The allegations were based on documents leaked by fugitive former intelligence contractor Edward Snowden. President Barack Obama had promised to investigate the incident. Yeah, okay. He's going to investigate himself, kind of like Eric Holder investigating himself. So the White House said that he had telephoned Ms. Rousseff on Monday to discuss the matter. The allegations of widespread espionage against Brazilian citizens were first published in July by Rio de Janeiro-based journalist Glenn Greenwald, a reporter for the British Guardian newspaper. So Mr. Greenwald alleged that the NSA accessed an all-internet content that Ms. Rousseff had visited online. So they're watching what she's watching. They're looking at what she's looking at. They're reading what she's reading, which in the reports that came out last week about the NSA, they're intercepting people's, when you go to Google, they're pretending they're Google and redirecting you to their site so that they can see what you're looking at. And if you don't think that's real, you need to take a closer look because that's what's going on right now with the NSA. And there's much more to come out, I'm sure. So if you want to talk about this today, give us a call, 501-433-0092. I know everyone's focused on the game today. Not sure how that turned out or it's turning out, but if anyone wants to call in about that too, we can talk about that. But I just want to keep y'all posted on this NSA stuff because, it's going to get lost in all the discussions regarding Syria, etc. Oh, wait. And then there's the UK Operation Socialist. Yeah, this is great because the RT is reporting that the Operation Socialist is a UK spy agency behind the Belgian telecom hack. UK spy agency GCHQ, carried out its hack attacks on telecoms from Belgacom. Data divulged by Edward Snowden has now revealed. So fingers initially pointed to the NSA when the Belgian authorities reported a foreign state had invaded the networks of the state company. But it turns out it's actually the GCHQ. So it's the NSA's buddy over in the UK. Citing documents leaked by former CIA worker Edward Snowden, Der Spiegel reported that the British government communications headquarters were behind hack attacks on Belgium's state-owned telecoms firm Belgacom. Slides from the GCHQ presentation seen by Der Spiegel show the infiltration of company computers was part of Operation Socialist. The presentation then goes on to describe the advanced technology involved in extracting the data from the organization. So they targeted certain high-level employees with the man-in-the-middle attacks, like I just told you about, which is where they intercept what you're looking at and redirect it to a copycat website where their computers infect. This one infects you with malware. The malware was then designed to manipulate the computer and collect key information from your computer. So this stuff is absolutely sci-fi, and whoever would have thought that this stuff would be going on right now, I mean, not in my wildest dreams would I have thought that people would be intercepting. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised now, but when I was growing up and you see all these movies like this, I never thought it would come to fruition, but it is. So now we have to talk about Syria. Russia today says that it's not protecting Syria. However, we are protecting international law. And if it comes to light that Syria is cheating, then Russia will change its stance. So far, they say that it has not been evident that, there's not been any evidence of cheating by Syria. But they're saying that Moscow could change their mind. Or not their mind, but their position on Syria if it discovered that Damascus is cheating, says the Kremlin administration chief Sergei Ivanov today. He says, I'm talking now theoretically and hypothetically, but if Russia becomes sure that President Assad, for example, is cheating, we might change our position, but so far we don't have such evidence. So, as the UN Security Council prepares a resolution that would see the implementation of a plan to disarm Syria of its chemical weapons, the chief of the Kremlin administration called on the UNSC members to base the resolution on a strategic long-term vision, not momentary concerns. So I wanted to get down to this one part that I read that was interesting, because what he says is that Russia has done its part on the Russian-American initiative of May 7th. We've secured Damascus' commitment to send a delegation to Geneva conference. Our American partners have so far failed to do the same in the talks with Syria opposition. According to Ivanov, the Syrian opposition has problems with getting to the negotiation table. It's very difficult to define the opposition now, as you know. There are so many splintered cells, and one of the predominant ones, of course, is Al-Qaeda, which is now, we're seeing that they're probably behind this thing in Kenya where 39 people are now dead, but 150 have been, harmed. And probably going to be more by the end of the day because there's a hostage standoff. Anyway, so Al-Qaeda is now one of the predominant splinter cell groups in Syria, and the claims that cruise missile strikes would help advance the peace process are not only ridiculous, but they are irresponsible, Ivanov warned. In the event of military intervention in Syria, the opposition, which is already against the planned peace conference, will lose any interest in negotiation in hopes that the U.S. will simply bomb the regime into the ground, as it did in Libya, Ivanov said, pointing out that opposition groups are being deployed closer to Damascus so that an assault on the Syrian capital could be coordinated with U.S. strikes. He says, I don't need to explain how high the death toll would be, especially among the civilians. Escalating conflict in Syria will have an unpredictable consequence. The head of the administration stressed, particularly underlining that Christians are now being killed and expelled from Syria by the rebel militants, who also execute Christian clergy and attack ancient Christian monasteries. Now, does that sound like something that we need to be taking part in, striking on Syria? I don't think so. So it's pretty sad whenever I am on the side of Russia. I mean, because I'm the one that's always saying we need to look out because Putin is looking to gain his place back in the world. We all know that he was upset because Gorby dismantled the USSR. and he didn't get his shot at being, ruling more than just Russia. But he is taking he's taking the first steps in this, and to go about it peacefully. And actually, he's the one that has common sense about this. Instead, we want to go in and strike folks that are protecting Christians. And we all know that I'm not religious. So me saying that is a huge, huge thing. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.